Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, everybody. Welcome to your pre-market live stream today. Well, it's not even really a pre-market live stream because we're going to be going live throughout the trading day. So welcome to the stream. Again, going to be the first time doing this in a while, so might have to get my bearings straight for the first couple days. Also going to be using, again, new streaming software. Actually, let me move this over here. Might help us a little bit. So yeah, going to be using a new streaming software, so we'll keep up with that, and hopefully everything goes swell. If I didn't cover Tesla, yeah, no, Tesla will definitely be a talking point for us today. So don't you worry about that. We will get into it. So yes, definitely going to be taking a look at AMD today, looking at AMD for a possible short today. What are the thoughts? All right, let's get into the screen share. We can take a look over, at AMD. Alrighty, so first one here we're going to take a peek at today is going to be the stock AMD. So recently we've been seeing AMD and NVIDIA both putting in, exceptionally good moves. So AMD has broken over the $100 price, you could say. It's gotten all the way up to a high of 170. So you're looking for a short play on AMD. So looking at the yearly chart, it does seem like the yearly and the 4-hour chart have AMD sort of in an overbought price. So if you are considering a short trade today for AMD, I would expect that you'd either want to be short on a rejection of the price of $108.69, or you'd want to be short for the market as it's breaking through $105.49. Let me just double check a couple more things. Yeah, so the way I would really go looking at AMD would be, and so here's the thing, I'm not really bearish AMD just yet. We are getting into some overbought prices. Part of me thinks we could still see AMD continuing higher, even though it is overbought. But I do believe this is sort of a time you would consider that the markets might start to roll into a bearish move pretty soon. So again, for me, the rejection price on AMD today would be somewhere in $108 to $109. And I would only be bearish probably in the prices of 108.69 to almost 110, or if the markets are breaking down below 105.44. That's really the only way I could probably play bearish. So in the event we do get AMD to break down the prices of 105.40s, I would only be then targeting down to a price of 103.75. Whew. So, all right. Yeah, a lot of work there. Hi from Sweden. Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, Edward. Thanks for tuning in this morning, peoples. Thank you. Thoughts on crypto trajectory? We'll cover crypto in a little bit. Good morning, Carl. Good morning, Paulie. Good morning, Xander. Good morning, guys. All right, so let's move on over to Tesla because Tesla is also a popular one. But before I do that, let me just organize my screen really quickly so I have everything up that I want. One second, though. It does look like the stock VXRT moved a bit. Hold on, EVK. Okay, VXRT. Oh, that's sad. That would have been probably a good short play. Interesting spike up and down. Nope. All right, let me check one more thing here, which is IMVT, but that's not good because it went down. Sorry about that, guys. Just checking over here on all these stocks that were hitting the high day scanner, but none of them so far seem like they're going to give us anything just yet. All right, so moving on over to Tesla. So Tesla obviously had 2 big days just recently. It has recently, it looks like, cleared the $700 price this morning just briefly. So I guess the best way I could explain Tesla would be if in the event we successfully break over 700s and legitimately break out, then the market should probably go up to the price of $759 to $760. So right now, pretty much only looking for Tesla to go as high as 760 on a breakout from here. So again, let me rephrase that. We look at the daily chart. When you look at the daily chart, you will see that the regression trend is priced all the way at 756. If you change that time frame to 180-day 4-hour, you will see that a +1 deviation comes into play at about 760. So on a legitimate breakout from this kind of consolidation, with Tesla only looking for a max price on the breakout to 760 bucks. Now, there is the possibility that this is a false breakout where we can see the market run up as high as 712, hit a half deviation, and then fall apart. So right now on the day, I think your long move would be up to 712, and then you have to see if it can break 712. So for right now, we are long biased on on Tesla with max price targets as high as 760 if this legitimately breaks out. Okay. We could look at AGRI a little closer. I just took a quick peek at it about a second ago, but didn't really do a whole lot more with it than that. So so far, pretty decent day. Again, there are some penny stocks moving. We're going to take a second here, and we're going to be jumping through the high-a-day scanner. So for those of you that are tuning in here on the stream, if you're not already aware, you can go over to the Trading Clips YouTube channel. This is a separate YouTube channel we have started. And actually, let me pop this onto full screen. So yeah, you can hop on over to Trading Clips YouTube channel. This is a separate YouTube channel I have where we pretty much just stream scanners to YouTube all day. So if you're someone who can't afford them, but you want to use them, feel free to do so. Or if you're just getting your feet wet and trading, you don't quite want to spend a bunch of money on scanners, you can hop on over to this channel and use these ones for free throughout the day. So what we're going to be doing here now is we're going to be running through the green scanner here on the right. So everything we're going to do here is pretty much going through this gap scanner, finding all the stocks that are gapping up this morning and kind of picking out which ones seem to have a little bit of potential today. So give me a second while I do that. And of course, I'll be making sure I go down the list here. Could you stream in 1080p? The stream should be in 1080p. So if it's not, that's because you're not viewing it in 1080p is all. So again, stream should be coming in at 1080p. Yeah, I just hopped onto YouTube to actually look at the stream, and sure enough, yeah, there is a 1080p setting. So it just means that you yourself probably aren't looking at it in 1080p yet. Jess, so I'm not sure, when you asked that question, but long story short, AMD, it's +3 deviations, close to 4, doesn't quite look bearish, but it's probably going to see bearish movement here very soon. So pretty much another way of putting it is where we're currently located is where a lot of people that have already been long on the move that we've had are going to be looking to sell on AMD pretty soon. Okay, so give me a second here while we run through our gap scanner. So this was the #1 gapper, EVK, which most people have probably seen by now. So you'll see that obviously this thing has put in a really big jump this morning, hit all the way up to a high of 485. So if we look at this, the important levels are going to be where those red lines are at currently. So first thing we'll do is we're going to delete these drawings on EVK. We'll go back through, we'll do the analysis on EVK. So starting at the yearly chart on EVK, pretty much what we're just going to do is we're just going to put lines over everything. This is probably the way I'm just going to do the stream from now on every day in the morning. We're just going to put these lines all here, and then we're going to change them so that they are color coded correctly. And a lot of people think this is a little confusing, a little much. You don't have to do this much, and you really don't. This is just me going a little bit of it's just me taking things a step further while I'm on the stream. So it's a little bit easier to explain, and there's nothing that is kind of left unsaid, because I hate when I do analysis and then I don't talk about something and then it ends up happening. I'm like, I should have mentioned it. So we're just going to go through these 2 time frames and mark down all these levels as we should, and then go from there. That's going to be blue. That should be red. And then this one in here should actually be yellow. All right, sorry about that. It took a little bit. But when we go look at the 1 minute chart, I know these lines, like there's so many colors, it's pretty wicked, pretty crazy. But nonetheless, this blue line up here, you see, that blue line is resistance. So you can see the market ran up to the blue line, and then it pulled back down towards like this yellow and this red line. So the best way I can explain it is that your blue line up here is for sure resistance. That's the long-term resistance. You're currently sitting in between resistance right now. You have resistance, which is the yellow. This red line is currently support. So in the immediate, if we're going to see EVK moving higher, it would be best to see the market continuing to hold this red line. And if we can break through the yellow, the market should go back to the blue. If we can get the markets up and through the blue, and then we're going to go to the green and this purple, and the max that we would look for is the next blue. So in a nutshell, your max long price today for EVK should probably be up to 612. Your intermediate breakout price is going to be over the 1 deviation mark at 420. So today going forward into the open, EVK, we're basically looking for the market to get back up through the yellow, which is $4.21. From there, we should see a spike to 470. Through 470, we can see a max target of 620-ish. So that's pretty much everything that's going on with EVK. So I know that seemed confusing, but it's really not. Again, market moves up, hits the blue. You can see that the market pulls back to this red line, bounces. We break back up over the yellow. We go back to the blue. We come back down to the yellow. We hold the yellow. We snap through the yellow. The long bias traders at this point are stopping out. The move comes down below the red, back up to the yellow, and now we're holding the red. So red is currently support. Yellow is currently resistance. Blue would be your target on a break of the yellow. Okay. All right, give me the next one here on the list. We're going to move down, which is XCUR. So this was also on the scanner this morning, on the gap scanner, one of the largest gappers. I don't know how I feel about this one. It doesn't look like a guy that's going to give us a really big move. So I feel like I'm going to just kind of pass on XCUR today. Let's see what AUTL is. AUTL, another one that's just kind of low volume, doesn't really look that special. INFI doesn't really look that special. DLPN is known to have some volatility in the past, but this actually doesn't look too bad, but that'd be impressive. DLPN, maybe. You'd have to get lucky. Yeah, we'll probably pass on DLPN too. The XRT still managing to hold up here pre-market, which is sort of impressive. And still really nothing to do with VXRT right now. All right, going to pass on that. I'm going to hop back into chat. We're going to run through some more of these stocks you guys are looking at. Good morning, Al and AJB Soccer. Good morning, guys. Carl, I wouldn't say sorry. Really, there's not a big difference in the day-to-day life for me. But yeah, I'm not really sorry for it. I think it's going to overall be for the better. But I appreciate your thoughts on that. Thanks. All right, let's take a peek at AGRI here. This was a request earlier from our friend Ben here, AGRI. So this is sort of a recent IPO, it appears. So this is a recent IPO, had a big day in the past. Max price for me right now would be like $6, 612, 487. Yeah. Really, the max price you could go for is 612, but it also has resistance right at about 489. I'm going to pass on this one only because there isn't really any news on the stock. It's a recent IPO. The levels that I have aren't as easy to follow, so I'm going to pass on this one. But in the event this does turn into somehow a really good move for the day, I would still recommend, having a max long target of somewhere at 620, and also be understanding that there is probably a big resistance at about 489 to 492. Chris, we could take a peek at DLPN. This is something that I just looked at a second ago. So DLPN doesn't have a lot of volume this morning, does have a little bit of news regarding the NFT marketplace. If you look at the long-term chart, it's on the low side. So it does have good opportunity of spiking upwards, as in you're buying it on a low point right now. So I would be more long bias DLPN off this low point with maybe a target back to 1080. In the event you can actually get through 1080, then you'd look for something up to like 14 to 15. But for now, DLPN, my target would be back to about 1080 to $11. Lisa No Name. Hey. How's it going? So yeah, the reason if the bit rate's low and the quality is not as good, it's because of the software that I'm using. So I'll look and see if there's any settings I can change in the software, like maybe tomorrow. But I don't know. We'll see. In general, we might not continue using this in the future. Yeah, we might not be using this in the future if the quality can't get much better than what it is. Typically, I use OBS to stream, and it's obviously much better. Regarding settings and things you can change and manipulate to make the stream quality better, but there's only so much you can do with this new thing I'm using. So we'll take a look at AMC. I don't really think anything too crazy is going to happen, but we'll take a peek at it. So last time we touched on AMC, we said that your max long target for the time being should be up to the regression or the mean, which right now is 42.35. So right now on the long side, our max long target would be to 42.35. You're not going to see a really big, gigantic rip move unless you were to cross through that price. You can see a ripping move to it, but you're not going to see a bigger breakout on the stock AMC unless you were actually able to get up and through the price of $42.30. So for the time being, we kind of rolled down. Let me check what the intraday looks like. Yeah, it kind of looks like shit. Yeah, I feel like you kind of still want to be bearish on this. So we recommended watching it long the other day on this day, looking to get back to the mean. We couldn't get back there. The market fell apart that same day. Then Friday's trading session, we tried to go green. Then it reversed and went completely red on the day, which is typically a sign of weakness. So for the time being, I would be bearish on the stock. And I think the market's trying to get back down towards the mean on the bottom, which is 34.26. Now, a really big downside move can happen as the markets go through the mean at 34.30. So pretty much in a nutshell, the price of 34.20 is going to be the stop loss level for a lot of long bias traders that bought this dip back here. So the goal right now on the bear side, and the goal for anybody who's shorting and anybody who's being bearish, is to get a shift through the mean on the downside to create the long bias traders buying this dip and or holding from whenever to hopefully stop out and create a panic move. So for right now, I think target's back down to 34.26. On the upside, your target would be 42.30, but the markets are currently below short-term moving averages. So it does look like momentum is downwards for the time being as opposed to upwards. Summer poop platter looks like. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. What's considered good volume in pre-market? I mean, there's going to be a bunch of stuff on the internet, but anything in a couple 100,000 shares of volume is fine. I guess realistically, it's kind of it depends, because if you're saying what's good volume pre-market, I mean, anything's good volume. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, because it depends on what you're describing good. If you think good moves come from big volume, that's not necessarily true. Stocks can move mountains on little volume. So if your question is what's good volume for trading purposes as an execution, anything trading in hundreds of thousands to millions is good, because then execution's typically going to be pretty quick. You can get fills pretty easily, pretty quickly. But if volume's, very thin, and when we say thin, the 1 minute candles are only trading 10,000 shares, right? Heavy volume is when a stock's trading hundreds of thousands of volume on each 1 minute candle. That's a lot of volume, right? Low volume is when a 1 minute candle is trading just a couple thousand shares of volume or something. So good volume, there's no such thing, because it depends on how you categorize that, right? If good volume to you is what's going to create a big move, then that can happen on as little as no volume, right? So really, it's just about having hundreds of thousands of shares on each 1 minute candle. That's good volume. The more volume a stock has pre-market does not dictate that it's going to have a big bullish day or a big bearish day. Stocks trading on heavy volume just mean that there are a bunch of people interested and a bunch of people trading, and in doing so, you should be able to get fills and or executed your price fairly quickly when trying to invest in such a security. So yeah, I mean, we might, I like this whole setup. It's cool what you can do with like comments and things, but if the stream quality can't get much better than what it's at, then I'll probably just go back to using OBS. Yep, the market behaves the exact same for half deviations as it does full deviations. And pretty much just what that means is there's going to be some sort of interaction there, right? When a stock gets to a half deviation, you'll see someone selling or you'll see someone buying. So pretty much any deviation point is typically an interaction point where there's going to be interaction, whether bullish, whether bearish, whether someone gets squeezed, whether someone stops out. Again, a half deviation is just the halfway point from one deviation, right? Each deviation's one. The halfway mark is the halfway point, which is the half deviation. What do I think about Hood? Really nothing. I don't. Everyone always asks me what do I think about IPOs, and I just don't even care. What do I think about Hood? I think Hood is probably going to trade like any other typical financial security. So if we look at what's TD, so we could look at TD Ameritrade. So over the last 20 years, this is what TD Ameritrade's done. So in the event that Robinhood is able to do anything similar to TD Ameritrade, I'm assuming that's probably what it's going to do. It'll go up over the long run. As more people invest money, as more people make money, as financial trading and financial things become more available to the public over the long run, typically with the way economics works, things go up. So I imagine Robinhood will probably go up over the long run. But what about them selling customer order flow? Oh my God, they're selling customer order flow. No one really cares. Wall Street doesn't care. As long as the company makes money, that's what matters. Companies go up when people get laid off. People getting laid off is not a good thing, but it can save a company money and make them more money. And in the eyes of Wall Street, that's a good thing. So again, whether someone wants to say they sell customer order flow, they're a shitty broker. I mean, who really cares? Someone in the world thinks Amazon's shitty. Thing's still worth $2,000 a share. Okay. I still don't understand Shopify and thinks it's kind of stupid at times, but look at it's $2,000 a share. So again, Robinhood over the long run, I would imagine it's probably going to go up. What do I think about the company? It doesn't really bother me. Lisa No Name. So last week, the reason you probably weren't able to say anything in chat is because you hadn't subscribed to the channel. So once you actually subscribe to the YouTube channel and were subscribed for, I think, more than 5 minutes, then it would allow you to comment in the chat room. That's probably what you're referring to. Yeah. So. All right, now we're going to take a look at this pins idea. So let's see, pins target swing trade. Sure. Yeah, it looks like DLPN just hit up to 1095, maybe higher. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, hold on. Can we wait real quick before we look at pins? We got to go to DLPN. Okay. All right. What was the target we said on DLPN? And we did say that it was more long bias. So we got to take down this comment because we're not on that. So again, DLPN pretty much just went up to the price target we gave you guys. So kudos to you guys. So when we look at the 180-day chart, there's DLPN. We told you just to watch DLPN up to about $10.90 to $11. It hit a high of $10.99. There you go. All right, we'll go to pins. Go back to that guy. Where'd it go? Pins, target swing trade. There we are. All right, so pins pretty much just rolled over, fell down. So pins is sort of on a bounce level. It's on a +2 deviation bounce level. So realistically, if you want to be swing long this, you should have been buying maybe the other morning off of 56.97, and then your stop loss would be through 56.97. So yeah, this is a bottom to be long on, and your stop loss right now is going to be closing below -2 deviations there, most likely. Let me just check this time frame. Yeah, that time frame kind of looks garbage. So pretty much the best way I can explain pins is that you're pretty much at the buy zone, and the buy zone goes all the way down to 52.28. What are we at right now? 59. So pretty much with pins from 57.25 to 51.92, 52, that's your buy zone, and you're looking for an accumulation to a bounce in that zone. I feel like the markets are going to try to shift it below 52, stop some people out, maybe run it towards, or yeah, 57-ish. But anyways, your long zone for Pinterest is again, it's here from 57 to 52. That's where you want to be buying long Pinterest. I have not seen DOYU this morning, but we can take a peek. DOYU, big old Mick downtrend. Not, don't really care for the way that's downtrending. I mean, yeah, it's a downtrending stock. If you're trying to catch the bottom of the downtrending stock to profit on a counter trend, be my guess. Not something I'm crazy about doing. I mean, if you could see my face right now, this is my face. I mean, yeah, if you want, it's, again, just a downtrending stock. If you're trying to catch a counter trend bounce on the bottom, I guess my analysis would pretty much be just buy as it gets close to -1 deviations, which you're pretty much at. Maybe get it back to the mean if you're lucky, but your best bet's just to avoid DOYU right now. Slow down, slow down. See, like that's another thing too, regarding where the logo's at. Again, using StreamYard, so it's really the default settings that they provide. So again, it's just me trying this new service, but apparently not too many people like it. Guess it's not good enough. Thank you, reloading time. 241 people watching. Yeah, I know it's pretty impressive. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me today. Am I seeing your post? Gord M. Yes, I am seeing your post. Yes. AMC, we covered AMC, but pretty much led to a bearish analysis still for the time being. AMC is not up and over significant levels that are going to cause anybody in the immediate to blow the stock up. How do I feel about SoFi for a swing? What's the ticker on that? Is it SOFI? Is it? Yes. See, like this is all jacked up. Chart's not supposed to look like that. So yeah, my chart's going back to doing stupid shit. Gotta love it when it does that. See, it's always has to mess up. Whatever. Yeah, so SoFi for a swing trade. Yeah, I mean, you're down at -1 deviations. If you want to swing trade, it'd be better to do it now than it would have been to do it when it was at 22. So yeah, I could get behind doing a small dip buy long swing trade for SoFi. Yes. Not bad. Yeah, we could take a look at NAOV. Yeah, there's a YouTube video out there. There's plenty of YouTube videos online regarding the stuff on my screens. We will take a look at NAOV, sure. Huh, interesting. NAOV came back up again, kind of. Yeah, NAOV is almost like kind of doing that of a squeeze. Okay. So yeah, for those of you that watch the stream complaining about quality, tomorrow we'll go back to using the older streaming software. So hopefully that will make everyone happy. So NAOV is almost doing that of a squeeze setup. All right, you can see that from the long-term chart, we went up, we got way overbought. So we sold all the way back down to less overbought. Then we bounced back up to overbought. So the way that this would work is when the market was trading up at 4, it was extremely overbought. So it sold down. It came all the way down here to 1 or whatever, which really wasn't overbought. So then it ended up bouncing. So that it bounced all the way back up to this blue and this purple. So then it went back to overbought. So then people sold it on the downside, trying to get it to come back down. And since it's not coming back down and it's holding up, anybody who shorted this previous top and or from here, they could be very close to getting taken out. So ideally, I think you do watch NAOV on the long side, basically looking to get the market back through the tops of this, and then you can cause a short squeeze. So pretty much you're looking to get through this high, and if you're successful, the market on NAOV will squeeze and it'll probably go back somewhere towards the previous high of $3-4 or whatever. So for now, you just watch NAOV on the long side, looking to get through the previous tops of $3. In doing so, it will result in a short squeeze and the stock will continue to go higher. Yes, Colton, AMD is overbought in the immediate at +3 deviations. You are correct about that. AI. All right, we'll take a look. Yeah, so looking here at the stock, AI downtrending stock doesn't look like it's going to be going up for right now. I would probably anticipate that continues lower. Still has a ways it can go down. The downside swing move for it right now is down to $34. So in the event, right, you cross through these lows, the target on that downswing is to about 35. So Yeah, $35 would be my target on the downside for AI right now. You don't use the MACD. No, I don't use MACD. I've used it. I have scripts and things that I can use, but for the most part, no. I don't use MACD. JMIA. Let's take a look. What's going on with JMIA? All right, so JMIA hit a high of 69, sold all the way off. Still doesn't look like it's strong and wants to recover. I would still be slightly bearish on that, only because, well, kind of. I guess the best way I can explain this was the attempt of the market to bottom, and then it failed. I'm still not certain that this is bottomed yet. There is no bullish divergence. There is really nothing suggesting a bottom here with JMIA. So for now, I'm just neutral on JMIA until it basically pops and starts to give more bullish trading. But the fact that it bounced so aggressively all the way to 33, then pretty much double topped at 33, and then broke the low here at 28.60 doesn't make it very strong. So for now, I would still be neutral to probably bearish on JMIA. No real price targets right now for that setup. TKAT for a swing trade. I mean, yeah, you'd basically just be buying TKAT because it's really low, hoping that since it's just so low, it pops, which really there's nothing wrong with doing that. But that's the sort of approach you're taking with TKAT is you'd be buying long, looking for a pop. So yeah, I'd recommend that TKAT, you can be swing long on this bottom with maybe a target back up to 992. Pretty much the same analysis I just gave you for DLPN is the same exact thing that I'm saying here for TKAT in a nutshell. Zoom for a quick swing into earnings. I mean, yeah, if you want to buy Zoom and hold through their earnings, then totally. But again, I'm not one who buys things to go into earnings. It's not anything I do. ZOM doesn't look like it's extremely healthy. It's still down. There is the start of a slight divergence. So I would say that ZOM is worth buying long into just because it's so low. It does kind of have a slight bullish divergence. So I would watch that. It doesn't, no, let me phrase that. It's not going to go long just yet. It's not ready to go long just yet, but it's sold off quite a bit. But I would say the buy point for ZOM is going to be down at 48 cents to 48 cents or so. It's either down at 48 cents or it's as it crosses up and through 66 cents. So either the long is for a break shift at 66 or a dip buy off 48. Oh, I thought I thought I saw ZOM. Well, I don't know if it was ZOM or ZM or which one it was, but ZM downtrending resistance is 409.94. I think you're going to see ZM continue to kind of swing downwards. Boy, oh boy, so many requests, it's hard to get to them all. Russell Index, so Russell 2000, RUT. Let's see, you would have to, so you got this there. So if you look at the Russell 2000, you'll notice that it sold down. It actually went below one deviation, but anyways. So you see it's bounced a little bit. Pretty much the Russell 2000 will end up getting bearish if we start to come below the price of 2,168. So ideally, I would be looking to see the Russell hold support in this area on the screen, which is from 2,165 to 2,200. So pretty much looking for the Russell 2000 to hold support here and continue trending upwards. If not, then markets get a little bearish through 2,165. Jack, regarding your question, TradingView script, no, we've tried. Others have tried. It never ends up seeming to work, or we just haven't gotten it yet. So, but that is something I'll be making. There is a TradingView script out there, but it's just not as good as the Thinkorswim one. Tends to still be inaccurate at some points. But it's the best one on the internet so far. So I will be making a video about that one here sooner than later. But no TradingView standard deviation script that seems to work as well as the Thinkorswim one so far. Mindful Jazzy, EVK. So looking over at EVK here, still the same kind of thing we mentioned earlier. Remember, we mentioned that your breakout would be through the yellow. Only through the yellow will it break out. That's your current little resistance. You can see we spiked up to it here. Went below the red again, spiked up again to the yellow here, and we're still holding the red. So again, same thing still applies. Your breakout move for EVK is going to be up and through 419. You know what? Give me a quick second, guys. I am going, thanks, bro, Wall Street. I appreciate you, boss. I am going to post the link to the TradingView script in the chat. So anybody who wants it can go get it. This is the only one that we've found and or like used that seems somewhat decent. So I just posted a link there in the chat. That's going to be to TradingView. Yeah, just posted a link there in chat. That's going to take you to TradingView. It looks like this. I'll share this screen. This is what it looks like when you get there. So whoever Corgalicious is wrote this script. And so this script is based off of pretty much my YouTube channels and TradingView, because you'll notice that so pretty much any script that we've seen on TradingView regarding standard deviation has come because of my YouTube channels. And I know so because when you look at most of the scripts are color coordinated the same way that mine is in all of my YouTube videos. So this is a script that somebody on the internet, I don't know who it was, designed based around some of my YouTube videos. And so he's done a pretty good job. The only thing that I have noticed that's incorrect about this one is the pricing on the long-term charts. So the pricing on the daily chart and the 4-hour chart, the levels tend to be off. But when you look at it on like a 1 day, 1 minute, or like a 5-minute chart, when you look at smaller time frames, it seems that the levels are accurate. But when you increase it to a longer term time frame, like a daily or 180-day, then the levels seem to get a little jank. So, but it is what it is, you know. What are those diagonal lines? Yes, it's standard deviation L Carter. Okay, so there's someone. So here's this. The script is not accurate at all, at least compared to Thinkorswim. So again, I've only literally viewed it and used it briefly, and that is sort of what I come up with. So again, maybe Rainey has used it or Rania has used it more than me and can give you more insight, but it doesn't sound like it works all the best. Yes, Caleb, to answer your question on default settings. Why not use WTD5 or WTD1? I guess the best thing I could say is because I just don't. I just use the 2-day 1 minute. I mean, they're all generally going to be pretty close in comparison, but I just have been trading forever using that time frame, so it's just the one I use. How delayed is the TOS SD1 scanner? Not delayed. The scan populates as soon as it can. Still waiting for the BRT script. I mean, all the scripts we have are on our website. So I would say, I mean, those are the ones, but I don't know if there's any other amazing secret script we're planning on making, at least that I know of. Where are those questions coming from, Nessa? It's really just a comment on YouTube and a software that I'm using that allows me to click someone's comment and then put them into chat. SPRT, it's gonna blow up. So I think if I remember correctly, SPRT was a stock that ran last week. So we had recommended SPRT as a long on pretty much when SPRT had this day in here. Let me delete some of these drawings. So in SPRT, pretty much was moving up this day. This is when we actually recommend it long on that day, and then that this would continue above that day's high. Ended up hitting 1086. Now the stock still looks somewhat decent. Doesn't really look, like it's going to sell off too much. Actually, let me rephrase that. It still looks like it has some momentum that can lead it higher. We went to overbought. We pulled back as we should have. But a portion of me does still think this has the opportunity to continue higher. So that being said, in order for SPRT to actually move higher, it would need to. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. I was going to say for SPRT to move higher, it's got to go back up through 820, which really doesn't seem like anything all that. I'm not even gonna recommend anything on SPRT, but because again, we already traded it up into like the 1080s or whatever. So yeah, SPRT I'll be neutral on, but part of me thinks you might get one more long move out of it, but it is slightly in the overbought location, so can't really recommend it too much for a long. Give me 1 second, guys. Perfect. Okay. What do I do for losers? I mean, I guess nothing. Do a IPO announcements and thoughts daily. I mean, I could, but I don't really care to because I just never really focus much attentions on IPOs. All right, so we're going to pop on over to EVK again really quickly because, well, the stock is kind of going up through the 420 price as we had mentioned just a little bit ago. Yeah, so the situation where EVK just got up and through the 420 price. Now it's a matter of whether or not it can sustain over 420 this time. And if so, I would imagine the move is going to try to go back up towards like 480s on EVK there. So my initial thoughts were to start the stream at about 8 o'clock every day. That's kind of what I was initially thinking. So yeah, again, EVK, it's still holding up. I mean, not any sort of real big move. Still really struggling once it got over that 420 price. All right, let's take a quick peek here. Well, let's just keep watching this EVK. I'm going to take a look at something else on another screen real quickly. ATVI doesn't seem like anything too crazy right now. EVK trying to get through that previous top it just put in, still unsuccessful. Like if a stock is around the -2 standard deviation line, then you can let it drop a little lower, make investment there. So when the market is green again, the price will squeeze to its highs. I mean, Jane, I guess I can't really think of your question too quickly and then kind of give a good response to it. But I mean, yeah, generally speaking, that's kind of how I go about going for my day. I look at how far something could go up and how far something can go down, and judge a trade based around that. If that's kind of what you're asking. Still, EVK just can't really get up and out. It's struggling, but part of the reason is probably because the three deviation marks right there at 468 or so. Thoughts on NAOV are pretty much along through probably Friday or Thursday's high. The most recent high that NAOV put in, you'd be looking for a long through that price point. That's what you're trying to do. Interesting. Yeah, we could take a look at XPEV. So it looks like our friend, whatever it's called, EVK, still just struggling. What was the one we wanted to take a look at? And not NAOV, XPEV. Yeah, so XPEV, let's see. Kind of looks more like a long move. You missed a good dip buy on it already. I would be less long bias XPEV because you've come back up to this previous top now. So I'd actually be more on the sides of like waiting for it to pull back. I still think it's going to move bullishly, but by buying it right now, you're not getting a super low price because this was a low price. So this was the bounce. The bounce has gone all the way up to here. So the bounce move to me, I believe, is almost at the top, which means you're going to be fighting for just a little bit more long. So I'd still be long bias maybe on the day, but you're going to be coming into selling pressure pretty soon, I would imagine. So back over to EVK. So EVK just held its pullback over the yellow line, which is good. That's the throwback and that's the retest of support. So ideally, this pullback has to hold above this yellow line or else we can see kind of another harsher candle down. So in a sense, this is the retest of the breakout. And this is where we need and want the long bias traders to come in and hold the market up on EVK to continue pressing it upwards, essentially. You can see there, EVK just popped off that yellow back to the regression intraday, which is basically 439. So again, you want to get EVK up through that little white trend line. Through that white trend line will cause the pop that probably takes it towards the blue. If you can't get through the white trend line, it's just going to kind of sit here and probably be done. I'm still struggling at finding a top three to look at today. I still don't think there's really anything that's super special. I mean, eyes are obviously on EVK, but even that's like meh. We did look at TKAT earlier today and really didn't care for it much. So yeah, your question is, let's see. If for day trading, do you think the best way to deal with the red day is by doing a swing trade by predicting the lowest price for a stock hovering on the -2 deviation line? And I mean, no, I don't. Again, because if you're trying to day trade, then you wouldn't be swing trading. So it's just a confusing question. I don't really get it. I mean, yeah, if you're trying to swing trade, then of course buying the lowest possible price is always best. That doesn't mean that it's going to be at -2 deviation. I guess the best way to explain it is if I'm ever trying to take a position or an entry point, it's generally going to be based off of the 180-day and or the 1 year, 1 day chart based on where their long-term deviations are. So it's less about the intraday deviation as opposed to the long-term deviation for me. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll probably trade when the market's open. I've already done one little trade on EVK today, but it was pretty much nothing earlier. There's really nothing happened. BSQR. Let's see. So is that moving? Maybe. Nothing really there. No. Yeah, BSQR going down, downtrending. Not really crazy about it. Yeah, we looked at DOYU. I think we basically came to the conclusion that there wasn't really anything to do with that one either. Oh, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, you'd be more likely to make money on a swing trade by buying something when it's on a low point as opposed to buying it after it's already went upwards. Yeah, that makes some sense there. Oh yeah, obviously it's harder to day trade when, well, not necessarily. I mean, if you're shorting, it's really the same thing, right? If a market's going down and you just day trade on the bear side, it would be the same thing as day trading on the bull side. You just have to be a bearish trader at that point. AUTL, yeah, I mean, moving upwards, lower on the volume. Yeah, I mean AUTL has resistance right at the pre-market high. So ideally you're going for a pre-market high breakout play on AUTL today is what that would be. ZKIN's pretty much just kind of down. EVK trying to kind of jump there, but still struggling. Okay, so let's take a look at Sava. Just want to take a peek at this really quickly because it looks like somebody's. When did it do that? I must have clearly missed that. Down. Okay. Sava's kind of interesting. It's got resistance right there, so it's only going to be another long move if it gets up into that price point. So this is the 4 hour down there. And then this guy, I see why, but this is really awkward. Sava's one of those tricky ones. So I guess for me, I'm kind of on the long side of Sava because I want to see it get up into this price zone. So I'm optimistic there's another long move from Sava that's going to take it up to a high of 81. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Sava might see a target at $81 today. MRID. I could have swore I just looked that up, but nothing ended up happening. Yeah, nothing comes up for MRID. Ojan, 80-cent stock, super cheap. Yeah, I mean, you could probably be more long biased than bearish that stock for right now. You're right at the mean, so basically you're looking for a break over 80 cents. We covered pins earlier. Pretty much it's entered the swing long price. Swing long price for pins is anywhere from 57 down to 51. Just know that if the market makers are going to break pins down to the lower price target of 52, then the bounce is only going to go back to 56. So if you take a full entry size around the 56 to 58 to 57 price and the market makers swing it to the next price target, which is 52, and then they bounce the market at 52, the bounce will go from 52 back to about 56 to 57, not allowing you to actually make money. I'm speaking probably further than I have to, but nonetheless, this could be a situation where the market maker shifted through 56 down to 52, then bounces from 52 up to 56. So if you do start taking entries on pins, you have to be able to make sure that if it swings down to 52, you can still be buying it down to 52. That brings your average from 56s down towards 52 or 53. That way, when the markets actually bounce at 52s, 53s, and take it back to 56, 57, you're going to be green outright. Whoo, okay. Sounds good. Prediction for SUPN. Ooh. Slight bounce. It's already doing it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Slight bounce from SUPN, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, this is pretty much how it's going to play out most likely. I mean, you have a downtrend. It just went down to -2. So again, slight bounce, maybe roll back over, something like that. And then, yeah, it's just nothing really crazy with SUPN for now. That's kind of surprising. That's still the case. Tesla to mid 700s. Yeah, I mean, let's go back and look at it. Why not? I mean, so far, Tesla's holding pretty well. Again, we were kind of long bias Tesla right now, a target of 711 to a max target of 760s. So yeah, max target long 760 on Tesla. So when someone, top three today, Tesla's one of them, EVK's one of them. Maybe Sava is kind of thinking about it, but yeah, at least Tesla and EVK are going to be watched as some of the top guys right now. MRIN. Now that's a ticker symbol that will actually come up. So the only thing you'd be looking for MRIN right now is either a counter long trend bounce to be long on, then to short. And based on the looks of it, MRIN might have already done that. Ooh, kind of. Actually, probably should be watching MRIN long bias today. Yeah, I think you watch MRIN long. I don't think you watch it short. So yeah, the reason I say you watch MRIN long is because the other day it squeezed up, then it sold all the way off to the regression trend, which we already bounced and started bouncing. So now you're looking for continuation off of this bounce, which that's pretty much it. So yeah, I would be more long bias on it, on MRIN, because again, we sold all the way back down to support. And so we're bouncing off support this morning. So you'd be looking for continuation bouncing from MRIN right now. EVK pop. Oh, would you look at EVK? Oh, excuse me. Whew. Weird. It's almost like it broke the yellow and it went to the blue. Like we mentioned when it was 8 in the morning. At 8 in the morning, that's what we said. You will look for a break over the yellow from yellow to blue. And we missed that by about 12 cents so far. Let's take a look at Apple. I know some people asked about Apple a little bit earlier. Hold on. Because it also does depend on what the actual market's going to do today, which so far to me kind of looks like it's more on the bull side. Yeah, Apple is kind of dependent on what the NASDAQ does today. Now, the NASDAQ is back up towards the all-time high. Debatable. Are you going to move higher? Yeah. Yeah, I think the market's still on the bull side, so I think you still watch Apple on the long side. So again, I'm still a little more bullish Apple just because the market kind of looks like it's slightly bullish. Of course, with Apple, you can see over the past couple days, we have not been able to get back through this 146 price. So today, it's really if you can clear 146, 147, you'd be more long bias. Otherwise, the market's probably sell off this little consolidation area. Yeah. Watch the NASDAQ with Apple. I don't have a great analysis for it because it's market dependent right now. Apple's not in a dip. It's not on sale. It's not overbought. It's just in the middle of price action right now. So you're very dependent on sort of what the market wants to do. Again, for the 200, 300 some people that are tuning in with us live today, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Just an FYI, if you go to the Trading Clips YouTube channel, just another YouTube channel we've created, we run trade idea scanners and Benzinga scanners there every single day, the whole entire day. So if you guys need scanners to use, something to find you stocks throughout the day, that stream is definitely going to be something that's going to help you. So again, Trading Clips YouTube channel, free scanners, Benzinga, and trade ideas every day. Ooh, Tesla still kind of moving up. Trying. All right, folks, we were pretty close to market open, 9:20. So, you know, for this morning so far, probably just going to be keeping an eye on Tesla, a couple of the other penny stocks, and my eyes are definitely going to be on scanners today, as they usually are, XCUR is popping. Let's see. XCUR is currently not popping, but it could get popping. So again, yeah, XCUR, we looked at this one. It already ran up to basically +2 deviations over the past 180 days. It's tend to stay within this channel. So yeah, I mean, the only thing you'd basically be looking for is a retrace move, maybe back towards the pre-market high, which would be a good move. So where is, so that's down there. There's that. This price is here. Yeah, so the support of the market for XCUR is down at 170 to 169. The current resistance of the market is 189. So as the markets actually break up, that would be where your long plays at on XCUR. If it's a legitimate true long and it's really breaking out, this would be the break point and the run point right at $1.89 for XCUR today. And then if it does run and it breaks upwards, then your first price target on the move back up is going to be to 208. Through 208, then it can actually get to the pre-market high. So for now, XCUR would be a long through 189, targeting up to basically 207. Yeah, so we provide also, if you go to that channel, there should be a link to download those same scanners as well. In that stream or in the description of that stream, there should be a link to download the same scanners. All right, so you will see that XCUR has popped up to $1.88, so 1 penny off of that resistance that we had mentioned. Again, XCUR through that $1.89 price is going to be where that breakout really is at. XPEV failed breakout. XPEV, that's the one. Wait, we looked at this a little bit ago. We said continue watching more long bias, but you're going to be seeing bearish trading soon. So yeah, no, I would probably continue watching XPEV long. Right. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So XPEV for me, max long is up to 44.33, and then it's going to get bearish. So I think you could see XPEV continuing long up to about 44, and then the markets will swing down bearish. So the person asking about a false breakout, maybe this might be like a situation where it does break out up to about 44, close to, and then the market pulls it back and it fills the gap later in the day. So I would be watching XPEV slightly long bias and then bearish for the day. Excuse me. Yeah, if I see anything that seems like swing trading potential, I'll let you know. Generally, most of my swing picks are going to come after markets sell off, because when markets sell off, things are usually on sale and it becomes easier. So most of my swing picks generally come from aftermarket sell-offs as opposed to when the markets are currently on a run, right? Because if you pick up the stocks when the markets are currently in a sell-off, then you don't have to worry about whether or not when or if they're in a run, because you're going to catch it by just buying in when things are low. So that's generally how I have my best swing trades. Oh, AMD. Again, for me, AMD was a situation where I'd only really be bearish if the market would come down below 105. Otherwise, I think the market just sells down to 105 and then it tries to bounce. So for now, it's moved to 105, maybe a bounce, but through 105, that's where a bigger bearish move can happen. MVIS, I'd be slightly more long biased than I would be bearish. Yeah, the standard deviation levels are closer and tighter, then that means there's less volatility allowed in that range. Yeah, generally speaking. And a lot of times there's going to be a stronger resistance there. Nobody cares about AMC anymore. No, we care about it equally as much as we did when, as every single day. I mean, we on this channel literally give AMC as much attention as it deserves every single morning. We come in, we give the updated price targets, and then we're out. So like today, the updated price targets were your resistance is 42.29. That's your max long. Your drop right now target is about 34. That's where you should bounce. So pretty much bearish at 34 right now, AMC. We care about it. We care about AMC. We do. We want it to succeed. We want to see the squeeze. We want it to go to 6 million. I'm just waiting on Trade Trades and Matt Kors to get it popping. I guess I can make that bigger. I guess I'm not streaming on there. All right, guys, market is about to open, and it does appear like Tesla is rolling over just before the start of the morning. It looks like ATCX, random stock, just started to go up on no volume. Yeah, no problem. No problem. No, Peter, it's not. No, to answer your question, is it bad to trade? Is it bad to trade inside the support or resistance zones if the standard deviations are wider? No, not necessarily. No, because if the standard deviations are wider and they're $1, you could see, $1 bouncing back and forth essentially. Looks like Tesla's holding a good opening candle to start the day. XCUR just got through the $1.89 price. The question is, it's legit. Let's see if it holds. Ooh, XPEV, a big, harsh down move. Well, at least to start the day. Oh yeah, AMD definitely sold down. I might only have AMD going down to this price where it's pretty much at, which is like 105, 104.50. Keeping an eye on this XPEV still. Added short to XPEV there. Let's see if they'll give us a big enough drop there, or if they'll swing it. They're holding XPEV very well. So I think they might bring that back up. So we might cover that. All right, so close XPV because they're going to squeeze that. So we went for the retrace down towards the support of 4140, but they didn't like that. So they're going to hold that up still. Nothing new on the high-day scanner. Saw BSQR. It's still kind of hanging out. There goes a short squeeze on what's it called? XPEV there. NEO still looking strong. Looks like they're going to try to bring NEO up a little bit. AMC started with like a little spike today, but it's really nothing that's all that impressive. Yeah, I'm starting to think XPV is going to hit our long target at 44.24 now. We looked at EVK way earlier, so unless something's changed from the last time I saw it, yeah, EVK still really doesn't look all that promising. Let me look at Neo once more. I mean, Neo doesn't really have a lot of resistance intraday that I can see myself. There goes EVK getting smacked down. Sava almost up to our target on the long that we mentioned. XPEV rolling back down again. Yeah, I mean, I looked at Sava, but AGRI. So that started with the sell off, bounced back up. That's that recent IPO stock. XPEV is starting to roll back over again. Wow, AHPI, it's halted on the way up. Now your question, you don't think AMC can make a move? It also has earnings coming up, reaching apex of pennant. Yeah, there's always a move as the markets come to the end of a pennant. That's just natural. So yeah, there is a move coming soon. Absolutely, you're not wrong about that. Yeah, I saw RMED come across the scanner for about 2 seconds. TKAT just hit the scanner, so I know someone mentioned that a second ago in the chat, so it's probably just now starting to pick up if that interests you. Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like, well, it seems pretty obvious that on TKAT, I mean, traders are trying to get up through that 775. I mean, if you can get up to 775, then there would definitely be or 750, 775. Obviously, there'd be a bigger pop on TKAT. Not bad. Added a little long to that TKT, see if we can get through 775. So we basically just retested the previous high of TKT. So I got a position on that, but yeah, I mean, if it can actually get through 770s, then it can lead to a jump. But that's pretty much it. You're sitting right on the resistance now. I mean, TKT has fought to get through 771 twice, 3. It's fought to get through multiple times. Wow, AMD, yeah, big sell-off still. Let's see what's going on with XPEV. XPEV, that started with its spike. Now it's rolling down. Kind of looks like that might be starting to get more bearish, which means a short trade would probably work well on it now. Yeah, still watching XPEV. I mean, I'm just wondering if it's really going to give in and kind of fill its gap today. And if so, I think it could come down to $41.19. So still keeping a close tab on this guy today. That's 41.19. Yeah, AHPI just off that halt. Still, yeah, still. I mean, just opened up and squeezed. I think the market's kind of overbought on that already. So I could be. Yeah, AHPI is already back to an overbought price. So we'd have to be pretty lucky to see that go much higher. TKAT still struggling to go through the 775. It's really only price action resistance. So I was optimistic we would get through it because it's not really deviation resistance. Yep, yeah, just still sitting in it. DLPN came across the scanner here a second ago. Yeah, EVK did just kind of pop a little bit. Yeah, I was keeping an eye on DLPN for a second there. Still, I mean, we already went up to 11, so at pre-market it already retraced to its regression. So I'm like, I don't really know if it's got much more of a big move left in it. Yeah, XPEV still holding okay. Tesla's still working well. So that's Tesla up to that 712 price, which was that first recommended long target on it. The max long target we have for Tesla is up at, I think, 760. Yeah, still at 760. Wow, Save is having a strong move right now. Let's see what this has in it. Okay, so higher low, back to there. I mean, Save's already put in a pretty solid move. It made it all the way back to its 9-day moving average this morning. So it is at a slight resistance. So I'm not comfortable with Save. Yeah, so Save, again, already bounced up to its 9-day moving average. So I don't know how much more this one wants to run, because if you look at the 4-hour chart, it already made it back to its half deviation price, which is like right there. So I kind of feel like Save's kind of done moving. But I would say that the overall long target for Save would be back up to the price of $30.32 over like the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. So TKT still struggled to get through the 775 resistance, which kind of sucks, is what it is, but really nothing to do with that. We're not on deviation resistance, so just kind of is what it is. As long as the market stays above the 9 moving average on the day with TKT, that would be a thumbs up. Carve, meh. I could see carve for a swing long. That's what I could, excuse me. That's really the only thing I would probably do with carve. I wouldn't be in it as a day trading stock, but if anything, it would be more of a swing long stock. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back here. So with RMED, it is halted. So we looked at this a second ago, couldn't really make up my mind for it, but now that it has blown up, the target on this move is probably up to 529 with RMED, I would imagine. So I think there's a good chance you'll see RMED hitting, what did I just say, 5? Yeah, I think you'll see this long move on RMED try to get up to 528 to 560, and then there's a very good chance if we get the price of RMED into 520, 560, you'll end up seeing it pull back from that location. BTBT. Okay, so BTBT came up through the mean today. BTBT, I think the max target you could have on BTBT would be up to 13 today. So it might, and I don't think it can get to 13 right now with the way it's positioned, but overall, I think you might see a 13 target on BTBT. Yeah, Tesla's still moving really good. Like I said, max target 760s. If in the event you see 760 today on Tesla, then you're probably going to want to be bearish. So again, if in the event you get Tesla up to 760 today, that's where you're going to want to watch that on the bear side, excuse me. There's BTB at 1125. If in the event BTBT actually got all the way up to 13, then I would probably look to be bearish BTBT at those prices. I'm gonna say XPV still managing to hold there. Was coming back to it. I was wondering if it was going to be getting ready to roll over into more of a bearish play, but still managing to hold up all right. The market, the SPY, everything kind of seems like it's trying to go bearish here. So that's why I was contemplating the idea of being bearish XPEV again. TKAT still rejected that high from yesterday, currently holding a higher low on the day right now. So we'll see if that continues. Okay, so RMED hit a high of 510, didn't quite get up to 530s, so just kind of sitting watching that still, I guess. Wow, EVK, that is that's pretty impressive. All right, so EVK ends up breaking out. So EVK, I would imagine, will continue to move on the long side. The first target up would be back to 520. If we're lucky, we can get $6 out of it today. So when EVK unhalts, you're probably going to see a price of 520 to 540. If we're lucky today, we can continue moving EVK through 540s to 6. So just anticipate when EVK unhalts, it'll be at about 516, 540. Right now, the open price for EVK is suggesting it will be 495 still. BTBT still holding up very well. So that's cool. Added some more to TKT long. Tesla's still just cranking away at 720. Very nice. Yeah, still just kind of waiting. EV and EVK to on halt. All right, EVK unhalted. Didn't quite get to 520s, only got up to 5 there. RMED still selling down. TKT kind of filling its intraday 1 minute gap. We'll see if that's enough to lead it towards a high breakout. EVK still holding up all right. No, not an EVK. Wasn't in it before the pop, so good entry's kind of gone for it. So you're kind of chasing up, looking for an additional move, which I'm not as comfortable trying to trade into right now. Tesla pull back at 720. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the top for the day. We'll see, but so far it's holding well. Yep, still in TKT. Got some more buyers stepping in there on TKAT, pushed it right back to the high a day mark. Still not enough to get up and through the highs. There goes TKAT through the high there up to 780. Yeah, still sitting on TKAT. I mean, we're up about 10 cents. Would definitely be nice to see it higher, that's for sure. So yeah, sorry, still sitting here in this TKAT. That's just about it. Yeah. Oh wow, AMD. Look at that reverse. Holy cow. So TKAT is back retesting kind of that 760s or the previous breakout level. Well, that sucks with TKAT. So that just gave back the sort of the breakout level, unfortunately. It's tough. So that's where a lot of long bias traders are currently stopping out as you give back that pre-market high, or not the pre-market high, but high a day level. Oh boy, love when shit doesn't work good. All right, let me just go back, take a peek at some of these other things that are moving here. Yeah, XELA's up a little bit. All right, so closed on TKT to take another loss. Could have taken off. I'm in green on the day, but, was looking for the retest of the breakout for a bigger move, but just didn't get it. So another shit trade. Well, it was decent, but just no follow through. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I don't really care as long as some people made some money. That's cool. Like I said, could have easily sold as this broke up on the highs, but wanted to see if we were able to hold the breakout, and it just couldn't. It's pretty straightforward. Part of me doesn't really think AMD is going to be very top heavy. I think you're going to probably just continue to see that going higher. Well, maybe not immediately, but in general. Tesla held that pullback now at 725. As you can see, EVK ended up hitting up to 560 and pulling back. RMED ended up giving back its entire gain. This GLMD stock still managing to make its way higher. BTBT still kind of consolidating at those highs, trying to figure out what it wants to do. Like I said, it realistically could see a target of 13. Just the intraday trend doesn't allow for a $13 move yet. AMC just kind of rolling over and down. Nothing going on AMC. XPEV is pretty much up to the long target I had, which was 44.25. So I think you got a little bit more room up from XPEV, but that's probably about it. What a shitbag. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, currently we don't have a lot of momentum in the market anymore. So I got to say, not a lot of trades I'm really even looking at. BTBT starting to sell down. I mean, yeah, GLMD is going up, but it's just too low of. It's just well, it was at least too low a volume to really do anything with myself. I usually don't trade into low volume movers like this that often. So GLMD went back up to 341, which would be the resistance. So you should only really see a bigger move on GLMD if it can get up and through 340. Considering a long with EVK maybe after this dip, might get continuation on EVK to the sixes to 620. GLMD, I mean, it's still managing to hold up. Nice little win on Hood today, not bad. Nothing, yeah, nothing really new across the scanners that would convince me to be making any trades. Tesla's still holding up around 725 for right now. I mean, EVK is still holding, but it doesn't look very good. GLMD is still debating whether or not it wants to stop around 340 for the day or go to the next deviation mark. BABA probably trying to move towards $204 overall. Still watching this EVK, holding this dip here. I would probably look to be long EVK as the momentum is shifting up through 520, or what causes me to believe momentum will be shifting through 520. Yeah, EVK is in a situation where short sellers are shorting this top, and if we're able to force them out, there's one more long move. Otherwise, it's going to go down. And that's why the first recommended selling target through that halt price was at 520 to 560s or 540s or whatnot. That's why we recommend that as your selling target after the halt, and then the 560s as the at-most target. Added along to EVK, going to try to see if we squeeze these shorts out of this play. Closed a little on EVK as the trade went green. Still no immediate breakout. Very small position on EVK now, because we hit up to 520, but we didn't get the instant just rip right through. GLMD coming back up to that 340 high. It looks like GLMD might try to break that 340 high. Nice up move from EVK again. It's got to get through 540 entirely for it to really rip. So all out of EVK. Again, still watching for continued long moves. If we can get through the 540s, then we might look again for that 620 price. GLMD still struggling to get up and through 340. Maria, yep, planning on streaming every day to YouTube, aside from Fridays. Fridays will probably be a day where I do one-to-one mentoring. So as of right now, the schedule will probably be Monday through Thursday. EVK still managing to hold pretty well where it's at. Yeah, EVK, I would say struggling to hold the 520, just kind of cracked below the 520. Have not quite set the pricing on the mentoring, so when I figure that one out, I'll let you know. Or when we have it set up on our website so that you can go and view it, I will let everyone know when that day comes. I mean, I pretty much just start scaling a position out when I get into the greener, when I feel is so. Like for example, like on like TKAT today, typically I would have sold on that breakout some, but I chose to hold fully. But that would be a situation where, as soon as TKT popped up, went into the green, I would take most of the position off or take most of the risk off. So that way, if it failed, I wouldn't have lost. So that's typically the way I would go about doing things. But for whatever reason, decided not to do that on TKAT this morning. I would say EVK holding another solid candle there, right at about 520s. Going to add some long to EVK. I think we're going to break up there, which we broke up for about a half a second. And they gave us nothing. I would say they might not allow TK or EVK to get up through that 540 price point. Yeah, the shorts are just definitely hanging on to EVK very strongly here. There we go. Sold a little bit on that breakup with EVK. Still have 300 shares on. It's just been one that just never quite wants to break out. So I'm hoping that this does break out. But if it doesn't, then I kind of made the right choice on closing a little bit. So, we'll see. Close a little bit more there. Still holding the 200 shares. I really wish there were shares to short on EVK. No. I will be right back, guys. All right, so I fully closed there on EVK, and it's just not an immediate breakout, or at least it's just not moving that way. Only had 100 shares on, so it wasn't a very big position to begin with. Who do you use for shorting? Lightspeed. Love this longer format. Connor really helps. No problem. Thanks for joining in. All we ask is that you guys just tickle the like button for us. It'll help our YouTube stream. Nothing new on the high day scanners. Nothing really changing too much. TKAT ended up grinding back towards the highs of 760 figures. Makes sense. Do I ever use level 2? A little bit here and there, but not all that much, no. Make sure you keep following BTBT throughout the day, because there is a good chance that that continues to go higher in the afternoon. All right, so EVK still rejecting whatever price the forward deviation price. SNOA is moving right now. Okay, never mind. It's not really moving. It's just a slow mover. Carl, we don't currently offer the mentoring. It's a service that we're going to be offering soon. It's something that everyone's asked me to do for a long time. Just didn't do it because I didn't have the time. And so now we've kind of changed over our business model a little bit, where I'll just basically be streaming the YouTube live throughout the day. And then on Fridays, I'm going to take Fridays off, and Fridays will be the day that I do one-to-one mentoring. But again, that's not quite fully set up, but when it is, I'll let you guys know. All right, let's go take a back at AM McSizzle. So AM McSizzle is currently going downwards. So that's not good. But that was also the recommended direction for AMC today, was most likely downwards, believing it's trying to get back down to prices of, I don't know what I said earlier, 32? Yeah, 34. Yeah, it looks like AMC is trying to go towards excuse me. Yeah, towards the 34 mark. So as soon as it gets through yesterday's or last trading session's lows, I would imagine selling would increase. So something you might watch for is a breakdown short for AMC later as it goes through 3680. GLMD. Yeah, GLMD, still really nothing there for me. The recommended resistance was 340. We sold off since we hit 340. So for now, really just nothing. Nothing to quite do there. Tesla up to 726. Yeah, everything's still for the most part moving good, like AMD, Tesla, all those guys. EVK, once again, battling to continue higher. Oh, son of a pup. There goes EVK. Mother trucker. God damn it. Well, anyways, if you're long EVK, this is where you should start considering selling EVK. You just hit the long bias target of 620. So does anybody want to give credit to the 620 target on EVK, or just I'll just pat my own self on the back? Good job, Connor. Good job. Good job, bud. Good job. So again, the more that you guys tune in live to these live streams, the sooner you're going to figure out how you pick all these price targets throughout the day and have an understanding of where these stocks can actually move. That way you don't have to guess how far a breakout will go. That's what we were saying, is that, this breakout move we're looking for should go to 620. We went to 620. So that in the event you actually break out, how much profit potential you can make. That's a big issue when it comes to buying, trading, investing, is not having any clue as far as how far something can go. Good job, guys. So again, that 620 was a recommended target. At this point, that's as far as I would recommend buying up EVK to the long side. Now, at this point, anybody who wants to continue buying and or trading and forcing this price higher, so be it. But it's not something that you should involve yourself with. Whomever the people in the market are that want to force this up higher from this point forward, let them do that. You should not. XELA, so that's been moving for a while now. XELA is probably done moving for the day, probably pretty close to its target. So that's the previous top. So XELA probably has, XELA has up to like 319 a day. I think XELA continues to stay on the long side, and moving towards like 620 or so. Yeah, let's see what our friend AMC trying to turn its life around. Yeah, we'll see about that. AM McSizzle just trying to hold that low of day area for dear life. That's pretty much all that's happening. The lowest AMC can drop today is 36, and the highest it would be is 39 to 40. Yeah, not the most awesome day. Red on the day, about $300. So that's never fun. Never a good way to start the day. XCUR. Called it this morning. XCUR is still holding up okay. Lisa, you might be right. It hasn't really broken away. Has yet to really break down, though. So it still does have an opportunity to make a long move. No problem. Reloading time. No problem. I mean, Tesla's still working well. Like we said, 760 target on the long side at this point. So if we get up to 760, by today, next couple days, just make sure to hit the thumbs up button on the stream. BTBT. Yeah, BTBT still looks decently strong. I don't think you'd want to be bearish BTBT right now. Yeah, regarding XCUR, Lisa, the resistances you'd have to break and so on. Yeah, that I gotcha. FUV hit the scanner, so that had to be making a move up. That is making a move up. ATVI. Ooh, yeah. ATVI still moving bearishly today. That still doesn't look awesome. I believe people are starting to buy ATVI. So pretty much my long zone would be anywhere from the 64 price down to probably 78. I myself would not be buying it long yet. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I myself would have been buying ATVI long the other day. Geez, Thinkorswim, you're trash. Yeah, so anyways, ATVI would have been buying ATVI long the other day when it got down to the prices of 82-ish down into the 2 dev mark, right? And then it bounced. So you wouldn't be able to make profit on that bounce. So again, your most profitable low risk entries are always going to be first attempt moves of breaking deviation. So again, ATVI comes down to break 2 deviation, which is this green line. Breaks, bounces back. So again, it bounced all the way from 82-ish to a high of 87. So it already bounced 5 points. The market's now retraced back down to support. So in the immediate, the longs are looking for ATVI to stay over 82.93, or they're just looking for the market to stay above +2 deviation. If the market starts to fail and drop below that mark, then it's hard to say exactly where it's going to go because it's not certain that it's going to break down again. But ideally, if it fully breaks down, we would go from 82 down towards 78. So again, it's either we start to base here and that's the bottom, or we break down and we head to 78. So I'm not sure yet, still too soon to tell. But either look for consolidation here, or the next entry for me would be down to like 78 or 70. Yeah, 78. Yeah, CAN definitely been moving today. That still looks pretty decent. I mean, like, I don't really see a sell-off, big sell-off happening from CAN right now. You buy the dip on the NASDAQ the next time it goes through a correction, and then we'll post a video which will pretty much say, here's where to buy the market, as we've done the last 3 times. So, or the last 3 times we've made a video saying, here's where to buy the market. The last time we recommended buying that dip, then we recommended you buy this dip, and then the last one was you buy that dip. So the next time that occurs, we'll let you know. So you're basically waiting for the market to go through a correction. So for now, you're pretty much just on standby, letting the markets run, waiting until they go into a correction. When they go into the correction next, we'll post a video that will say, here's where to buy the market. And then that will be it. Wow, would you look at that? Look at that sell-off from EVK at 620. It's almost like we told you to sell at 620. Weird. So odd. Even during pre-market, we recommended 620 as your max long target for the day. So even if you watched this pre-market and headed out for the day, we told you 620 is your max long price for EVK on the day. What a shit show. Now, boy, oh boy. Never fun to get caught in one of those candles. Those are never fun. Well, all right, folks, it is it's about 11 o'clock. So this is a time that I'll typically run for the day. So not the greatest trading day in the world, only red on the day, 300-ish. So not a bad day, not a terrible day. But other than that, that's where we're going to end the stream for the day. We'll be back on tomorrow, same as normal. Be doing this throughout forever for the most part. So with that being said, I'll catch everybody back tomorrow morning, bright and early. All I ask is that you hit the thumbs up button before you head out. And do we think it's going back to 620? We do not think it's going back to 620. Hence why we suggested max long is 620. If it gets over 620, that's extremely lucky. So no, max is 620, not expecting 620 again. All right, guys, everybody take care. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.